All right, I'm just going to start by saying it. This is going to be a weird video where half of you are going to be like, that makes sense. I get it. And the other half of you are going to be like, you're dumb. Stop making dumb videos. And I promise you, I'm going to back it up. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start by saying what I want to say. And then I'm going to back it up. And my hope is that you'll sit there and listen to me. There has been a report. Actually, it's not a report. We know for a fact. JuJu Smith-Schuster has been released by the New England Patriots. All right? This move does give Smith-Schuster the chance to sign somewhere before the season. And I am going to, in this video, tell you why that should be Detroit, not just for Smith-Schuster, but it should also be Detroit for Detroit. I love that Doris Fountain is having he's having a great training camp. I love that, we have Isaiah Williams balling out and had a great first preseason game. Are you good if Jamison Williams goes down with an injury? Are you good if Amon-Ra St. Brown goes down with an injury, saying an outside receiver for this future is going to be Doris Fountain, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Antoine Green just got a concussion? I'm not. And I know what you're thinking is like, JuJu Smith-Schuster, who is this guy? Like, you know who he is, but he hasn't been good. He couldn't make it on a Patriots staff, a Patriots roster that has no good wide receivers. Yeah, I think it's simply a timing and situation type thing. And this is why I am actually feeling pretty confident about that. And I'm going to compare him to a Lion of last year that I think makes sense, and that is Josh Reynolds. So let me give you the career stats of JuJu Smith-Schuster by season. Last year, 46 targets, all right, 29 catches, 63% completion percentage when thrown to him, which actually isn't bad when considering who was throwing to him, all right, for 260 yards, 9 yards per catch and a touchdown. He wasn't his greatest year last year. We all know that. There's been some injuries and all that kind of stuff. But let's go to the year before. In Kansas City in 2022, he had 78 catches on 97 targets. That's an 80.4% completion percentage. That's ridiculous for 933 yards. His last year in Pittsburgh, he was hurt almost the entirety of the year. He only had 129 yards receiving. All right, 2020 through 2017, he had 831, 552, 1,426, and 917 yards receiving. Here's what my point is. When JuJu Smith-Schuster has a good quarterback, when JuJu Smith-Schuster is in a good offensive system, he is, wait for it, a good wide receiver. Now, he's never going to put up 1,400 yards like he did in his second year, his sophomore campaign, and I'm not asking him to. If you think about the man he's replacing, in his 3 years with the Detroit Lions, Josh Reynolds, in the half a year that he played for us, he came in like weeks 5 or 6 in our first year, 396 yards. In 2022, he had 479 yards. And in 2023, he had 608 yards. All right? These aren't astronomical numbers. This isn't the type of production that you need to go out and sign a $20 million T. Higgins. This isn't the type of production that you need to go sign a $30+ million Brandon Ayuk or do a trade for one of these two guys. That's not what this is. That's why we didn't go after Mike Evans in free agency. That's why we didn't go after trading for Stephon Diggs. All right? All right, the reason is because we don't need a phenomenal player to fill that role. We need a like player to fill that role. And the completion percentage of JuJu Smith-Schuster over his career has been much higher than Josh Reynolds. Josh Reynolds has shown when he has Jared Goff, he's good. When he doesn't, it doesn't work. He was released by the Tennessee Titans. That's how we were able to pick him up, and he was able to be a really good third wide receiver for us for years. JuJu Smith-Schuster can do the same thing. We need a guy who fits a similar athletic profile. All right? That is what it is. Here's Josh Reynolds. All right? He actually had a better RAS score than I thought. It wouldn't be even close to a 9.1 now. It was 2017. But 6'3", all right? Mid 4.5s, 40 time, all right? And 194 pounds. Let's take a look at JuJu Smith-Schuster for a second. All right? 7.33, 2 inches shorter, 20 pounds heavier, mid 4.5s. All right? Very similar short shuttle and 3-cone jills. They both had good agility grades. Smith-Schuster was actually quicker than Reynolds off the line. The only thing that hurt him is his vertical jump and broad jump. That's where he wasn't. I mean, vertical jump, honestly, is the only thing. His broad jump was just fine. All right? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, JuJu Smith-Schuster, when you take a veteran wide receiver that just 2 years ago produced for almost 1,000 yards, and last year, yeah, he got hurt, but his production was okay. Like, you never expect JuJu Smith-Schuster to be this great player. And they were like, nope, we got to get out from under the contract. So they're out from under it. We can pick them up on the cheap. We have the money. We have the third most money, I believe it is, of any team in the NFL in spending money right now. It would be silly not to take a flyer on it. So why would JuJu Smith-Schuster want to come play here? It's a ring. He wants a ring, right? He wants to play on a contender. He wants to play with a quarterback that is good. And I can't think of a situation in the NFL where he's going to play for a team that has a chance to win a Super Bowl, where he's going to have a good quarterback like Jared Goff, and he can be a day one outside starting wide receiver. He can get the playing time. He has the quarterback play, and he's on a team that's a contender. That's what I'm seeing when I look at JuJu Smith-Schuster. When he's playing on a team that is a contender, when he has good quarterback play, he is a good player. It's that simple. So, yes, I am beating the drum for JuJu Smith-Schuster. He's 27 years old. He's not this old man. He has good size, Amari Cooper type size, right? And he has been a proven player. Go watch this tape. He is a guy who's lined up in the slot. He primarily lined up out of the slot in Kansas City. He's lined up outside. He actually did that in KC too, and in Pittsburgh. He can do all of it. All right? In fact, everybody's like, no, he's a slot guy. He's a slot guy. Over the last 2 years, in Kansas City, he lined up in the slot 42.6% of the time. He lined up out wide 57.4% of the time. Last year with the Patriots, he was wide 56% of the time. Put him out wide. He'll be great. And then every once in a while, if you want to run something special for Saint, if you want to get Saint out wide, you put Smith-Schuster in the slot, or you bring Khalif Raymond in, you're good to go. It's not a problem at all. This is a make sense move, and I think he is a player that can absolutely continue to thrive as the third best receiver on a team where he does not thrive. He is not good enough to be the number one receiver. He's not. He's not good enough to be the number two wide receiver. He was the number 1/2 in Kansas City the year that he got 933 yards in 2022. All right, but everybody talked about how he struggled. Yeah, because he's not built to be a number one wide receiver. But if he's playing a complementary role, he can be good. Did I convince you? Did I convince you that JuJu Smith-Schuster is a good pickup? Yes or no? I would love to see in the next 2 or 3 days that he is in our camp. I would love to see it today. That's why I'm going to get this video out in just a couple hours, because I hope that he's here on Sunday, Monday, maybe. All right. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.